presence of far-right extremists has rightfully made marginalized students scared to be on campus. But this is not the first time that students have felt unsafe being on campus. Earlier this semester, the rock on Front Campus, which has a storied history of protest art being displayed upon it, was defaced for nearly 2 weeks with transphobic hate speech. When these messages of hate were covered with messages of love and acceptance, they were once again feel safe openly expressing their gender or sexual identity on campus. 81.7% have a negative view of Kent State University.
'75-degree weather, regardless to what you think, what kind of day you're having, without fear of not just Kyle Rittenhouse, but fear of our classmates who support them.
Idea how to keep trans students safe. Well, I say if you truly want to live up to your values of diversity, equity, and inclusion, then you should listen to your trans students. Kent State University can start this process by creating a task force made up of trans students, trans faculty members, and members of the administration to create an action plan for ensuring the safety of LGBTQ+ community on campus.
When you're angry and when you're hurting, I will stand with you. When you feel unheard and are looking for answers, I will stand with you. And because I'm only one person, for maximum impact, I encourage you to stand with one other person. And I encourage you to encourage them to stand with another. We are so much stronger and have so much more power than we know. And to tap into it, all you have to do is stand up. Stand up for what you believe in, to be a part of the change you want to see. Run away from passivity, for passivity is the same as defending injustice. Be bold and be honest and be, most of all, you. Don't allow the things we have seen here today, the posts you have seen online, or the people who have offended you to change or harden your heart. Use it to inspire you to be a risk taker, a change maker, and someone who not only stands up.
Here at this press conference right now, coming up at 5, one of the state leaders is a survivor of the Rittenhouse shooting.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on this lovely afternoon. My name is Paul Prediger. Many of you know me as Gage Grosstrice. On August 25th, 2020, Kyle Rittenhouse shot me in Kenosha, Wisconsin. Since November 2021, I've chosen to remain silent and not speak publicly regarding Kyle Rittenhouse and the events surrounding that night, preferring my anonymity and safety over revisiting a traumatic period in my life. But that silence ends today. While I've simply tried to live my life and not relive those moments, Kyle Rittenhouse has taken a different path. He has used every moment to gloat and to make light of taking life. As if that were not enough, Kyle has embraced and been embraced by those who peddle hateful rhetoric, who believe in nationalism that excludes those who do not look like or think like them, and who have sought to amplify a troubling desire for violence against supposed political, cultural, and religious enemies. I am not here today at Kent State to sell you a book that somebody else wrote, or a full body armor military kit that I didn't design, or a subscription to an anti-woke payment processor, or to sell you the lies of BLM. That speaker is across campus today, and his name is Kyle Rittenhouse. And for an extra $37, he'll even autograph his book for you. But what I am here to do is to stand with the students of Kent State who have had enough. Enough of Kyle and his rhetoric, enough of the celebration of loss of human life, enough of the flawed logic that because a 17-year-old who shot me and killed 2 others with an illegally obtained firearm, an illegally carried firearm, is now somehow qualified to be a champion of gun rights. Enough of the sad fragility that proclaiming and accepting Black Lives Matter, because they do, somehow devalues or threatens white lives. Enough of the lies and the deceit that has been told by Kyle Rittenhouse for over 3 years about what actually happened in Kenosha, August 25th, 2020. So I ask all of those of you who are interested to join me and these student organizers behind me and in this crowd to come to the Oscar Ritchie Hall for a hopefully enlightening teaching experience. Because students deserve an alternative to the hate and division that Kyle Rittenhouse seeks to sow on campus. And with that being said, I'm very thankful for my invitation here and being able to be amongst y'all. Thank you.
Yes, I think so. And that's because of the type of crowd that an event like this attracts. We've received rumors that groups who are armed will come to campus, and that is why we have advised students, especially students from minority groups, to either stay off of campus or to stay in certain buildings that are deemed as safer.
Being in Students for Justice in Palestine, do you see any kind of intersection between that issue and what's going on here?
Absolutely, and I've done some reading on the intersections between Black Lives Matter and the Palestinian Liberation Movement, and really if people don't see the intersectionality, then they will continue to remain separate in their causes and they won't unite. The reality is, just like Palestine activists have advised protesters in Ferguson, we see the similarity of the state violence committed against black people here in the United States to the way the Israeli Defense Forces oppress Palestinians on a daily basis. Even past that, the way Israeli settlers enact violence on Palestinian civilians is very similar to the way Kyle Rittenhouse was emboldened by his government to become a chaos tourist, to take a gun to another city and eventually kill 2 people. So yeah, I do see a lot of intersectionality.
Have there been previous turning point events on campus that have caused controversy or backlash from students?